What can ancient yogis tell us about who we really are? Welcome to the Science of Yoga Part 9, Who Am I? When asked the question, who are you? How do you answer? Most people think of their life story, a historical past involving childhood, a current life situation, and maybe a future with hopes and dreams. And there's a central character to this story. That's you, the character who has been through the highs and lows of life's challenges. But let's start by noticing that this story is occurring entirely in our own mind. But is this collection of thoughts and emotions who you really are? That's the question we'll try and answer now. Neuroscience admits that the thoughts we have about ourselves are often disjointed and inconsistent. There seems to be no neuroanatomical center to them. But this is similar to what yogis have been saying for thousands of years. There's no enduring center to our thoughts. It's an illusion, they say. Well, let's see. We assume that I'm the character in my story. But just take a fresh look and you'll see that the you character here is itself a part of the whole thought. It's not separate from it. You might think I'm a failure or I'm a success, but again, the character is very much part of that thought. It's not separate from the thought or story, if you like. If you compare yourself to someone else, there's the you character again in the comparison thought that we falsely think we are. The character you think you are is never separate from the thought itself. It's all part of the thought. And the person who gets trapped in the thought is the thought. It's a marvelous trick that our mind is playing on us. Now, how can you be this character if they're all just thoughts in your head? And if you're not these thoughts, then what are you? This is what yogis investigated. In this state of meditation, they found that when the mind is quiet, they're more in touch with what they truly are. A teacher called Eckhart Tolle said the following: "In the seeing of who you are not, the reality of who you are emerges by itself." Who we are is way beyond the brain's understanding. We're not a character in the mind. We're not a success or a failure story. We're not a profession, age, or status, or any other thought you could possibly have about yourself. We are the consciousness behind all these thoughts. That is our essence. So let's ask again, who am I? But this time don't ask the mind for the answer. Let's go back to our direct experience. Looking through the eyes of the man on the train. In presence, he can see the changing landscape through the train window and the velvet sky above it. But strangely, he can't see his self or story anywhere. He can hear the sound of the tracks and people talking in the background, but he cannot hear his story or character anywhere. He can feel his body and the floor underneath his feet, but still his story is nowhere to be found. He is still here in presence, and he can enjoy this moment, but there's no story necessary. And so while we all have a factual life story, we're a lot more than meets the eye. This is how we glimpse the joy of being